Hello and welcome to EFAP
Hi.
Superchat Catchup for episode 293. EFAP Mini. Green overlay. You know it. You love it. Here we are.
Live it, love it, learn it.
Time
Why are you
we...
still Christmas,
Because I was
Mauler?
trying to keep the cheer up, I don't have a New Year outfit.
The cheer comes from inside, Mahler. It's not
And
about what
people
icon you have. Maybe Christmas perhaps doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas means just a little bit more.
Aww. I might just
You know
switch
how
it
much
after you said that.
my family loves like Grinch iconography, Grinch shrines, Grinch pilgrimages. They love Grinch stuff. You see a lot of Grinch at the Rags family Christmases. And this is coming after us watching the 3 Grinch movies.
Ugh.
And I just feel like I'm so Grinched out right now. I'm just
Maybe
completely
watching the Illumination
I'm
one last was a bad move.
I'm at capacity when it comes to Grinch. I'm ready to be done with
I have
Grinch
been
for a year.
Grinched.
Oh, it's because we have I have technically I guess she's a second cousin cuz my cousin got married and had a kid. So that kid would be my second cousin or just cousin.
Hmm.
I don't know, but anyway, she's a little baby. We have this one Grinch and it's got a trombone and it plays the do 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 boo do boo do, and she loves it and it moves and it makes the noise and the sounds and it plays the trombone, and she played it so much that song is just the anthem of my nightmares, and I
Oh.
just need it to stop. I'm just so cringed out. All right, let's carry on. No more Grinch. No more Grinch.
This is for House of the Dragon episodes 1 and 2, and messages shall reflect that more than likely. I know if you guys remember, something surprising happened at the end of this episode, actually, live on the air. But anyway, we'll get to that because it'll be mentioned. So it starts with no gliders. He was invited, okay, to every episode, but as I mentioned, he was I mean, it's expected. It was his busiest time ever because he's like a thronesman, so.
Let the man cook. All right.
Basically, yes. He's got all of his coverage on his own channel with Alt-Shift-X and a bunch of other stuff. So it was kind of like, can I borrow you to do the thing you're already spending all of your time doing? Not in a like absolutely repetitive way. Like you'd be talking with us, but you got to respect. He's the kind of person we'd be after for something like that. But simultaneously, that's why he's unavailable. So
Look, the man's got to make that bread.
Mm-hmm. Yay, Theo is back. Hopefully you're going to torture him and ER with more Boogie next time. Definitely
Boogie.
ER. I feel like we have to have ER every time we do Boogie. Just to hear him
But
be
he
so
knows that there will
surprised.
Wake up, dear. You know what time it is.
Yeah,
Boogie's in his less funny, more annoying arc.
he really is.
Like it's I don't know, it's not interesting anymore now. It's just like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess you're just sort of playing the dick for your show, but like what, you know what I mean? It's like it's funnier to see him squirm. All right.
What's funny is Lolcow Live, because I did have a look in, has gotten criticism now for being like scripted like like wrestling is, and by that specifically because I want to make this understood. Like it's about, say for example, me, you, and us. We're setting up an episode of EFAP, and we go, right, Rags, I want you like about a half an hour in to make something fall or make the sound that something has fallen, and for them to make like a really convincing scream sound, and then a few seconds later leave the Discord call. And then, me and Fringy will speculate on what that could possibly be, and you'll come back 10 minutes later and you're going to pretend like nothing happened at all. You're going to say, like, no, nothing. And then, Fringy, you do the same thing a half hour later, come back, say it's nothing at all. And then act strange throughout the whole episode. Just say things that are just really off and completely out of character.
Just to get him talking, just to get him speculating.
Yeah, and then it would be like, but try and infuse it with some, interpretations of your own, and let's get some improv going, and yeah. And I think the idea is that they're doing this and the audience are like, this is so fucking scripted. I think the problem is the scripting's just bad. Like if it were really interesting and fun scripting, it probably wouldn't be as much of a problem. But
yeah, but I mean but the problem is that you're dealing with somebody who has no work ethic, so like he's not going to put in the effort to actually make a compelling story, is he?
no. And of course it's not really what people I think that ruins the
fundamentally,
whole
it's not what
aspect of a
people want.
lolcow. You want like the genuine.
Has to be genuine.
Yeah.
It's like whenever the bad B movie
Well-
comes out, and then the director tries to do that again, but it's not earnest anymore because now they're trying to make a bad movie.
I mean, the reality is that what made Boogie entertaining was that he was trying and failing to present himself as like a good person.
Yeah.
That's like what is
I think
in
that's
a
why.
sense almost fascinating about him as a character.
I think that was part of why it was so entertaining to go through all of that really old stuff. Because it's like, wow, look at him back here. Like, the lying is insane now. Because you know it so well, like the tactic. Just seeing him. You remember that clip where he's like, I would never insult a person. I would never do that. It's just like, wow.
And I think what's funny is that somebody, I don't know, at the time, someone would be like, "Oh wow, how good of you." Whereas like now, you'd be like, "Wow, what a
loser.
what a jerk, like what a liar, what a
Yeah.
weaselly little liar."
Weaselly little liar.
It's just like it's so insincere, and it's designed to make him look like he's great. Well, I mean, it's kind of a humble. It's not quite a humble brag, but it feels like it's adjacent to that.
It's definitely humble brag adjacent. I know what you mean. It's like when it's like as a joke. Like I've probably said it before. When
I'm
people,
such a nice person.
I'm so
really
humble.
empathetic.
I'm so
really
humble. I'm the most
empathetic
humble person you've ever met.
The
you
joke
know?
from Guardians, I'm extraordinarily humble.
Yeah, exactly. you know.
Which, by the way, we just answered the next super chat. Where is the boogie coverage? Well, there you go. Done and done, and maybe we'll return some distant time when there's reason for it. But you know,
yeah, but not right. Not
the thing is, I could see himself imploding, and that we would cover it. You know, like some huge event. Maybe.
I mean, yeah, that's something that could. I mean, I would expect that there will be some event that could happen at any point, basically, that would restart Boogie, try to make more of like a real attempt at doing what he used to do.
House of the Boogie. I'm still hard from the last time Theo was here with all those very hot and very true Elden Ring takes. Where is Glidus? By law, he has to be here for Hot D. We did summon him, but our magic was apparently insufficient. I'm so sorry.
And I guess will Theo
Spell
be
casting will
providing
be
his hot
improved.
takes, perhaps on the new Elden Ring cooperative thing?
I don't know, maybe.
So, you know, maybe there'll be more hot takes to come.
Yes.
You guys loved summons, so now you can play with your friends.
Look, man, having cancer is the one thing that brings Boogie joy in life. It did bring him some joy, faking it, I mean. And then it brought him nothing but pain.
Oh, man, it was just so fascinating him, like, doing the 1 HP voice, and then when Destiny just insults him a little bit too much, he just decides, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna scream constantly.
Dude, that's what I feel like would happen with a lot of video essayists who do the wounded animal 1 HP thing. I feel like if you push them enough, they would snap into like, fuck you! You don't know what the fuck you're talking about! You know, and they would say like, you're just wrong about this, that, and the other thing, when they're supposed to be like, oh my god, it's all subjective.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose that's I don't know. Do possums, the American possums, do they ever like get really aggressive with people?
I don't think so. I think possums are famously retarded. They're very docile, as far as I know. They do the play dead thing. The possums.
Well, I guess that's what I meant. Was it's almost like the 1 HP voice is the possum playing dead, but then I guess it's not analogous if there's
but Boogie's that's what I mean though. It's not even. He's like bad at it. Like his ego is just like, they're insulting you. You must do something. Insult them back.
Yes, and yes, that's right. If somebody insults you, then you have to insult them back. I think it's because that shows how
for
hard you are.
A long era of his life, that would have been enough, right? Doing the whole like, you're right, sorry.
Well, yeah, because most people don't. I mean, there's a reason why 1 HP voice is effective, right? It's like people don't want to just beat down on someone.
I fucked up, and I'm so sorry. And then it's just like, okay,
a normal
man,
person will be like, okay, calm down. So you know,
but other people nowadays are like, shut the fuck up with that bullshit voice. Like, I know what you're doing. I watched Squid Game Season 1 and I liked it. I was 50-50 on the ending. We'll come to a final conclusion after finishing the EFAP on it. What do you say about it now? We're still pretty positive on Season 1, aren't we?
I'm positive on
I
season
am
one.
positive on it. I think that the good outweighs the bad.
Which, they're very well cut apart, you know, the bad and the good. In
They
Season
really
1.
are. It's like, okay, we're on this plot line now. You could use the bathroom, do your taxes,
Look at your phone.
you know, get all that stuff. Yeah, get rid of all that stuff you need.
Movie Bob and Boogie were once each other's only joy in life, but after a ruined Halloween and an aggravated brandishing of a weapon, all of the internet has plunged into a personal Vietnam, house of the reasonably sized meal. I mean, it would make for a good conversation, those two talking about how cruel the internet is. Imagine the kind of gems that would come out of that.
Just become they need to do what's it called? Mukbang, where they just eat food in front of a camera and people just watch that.
Sure.
They can just
with a
consume
reasonably sized meal.
They could, yeah, exactly. Today's reasonably sized meal on this episode, 17 hamburgers, 7 large.
Well, but because
steaks.
of like his stomach staple, or whatever the hell it is, he'd have to blend all the burgers into a fine paste that he could just gluggle and that.
Doesn't
Look
that
it right
eventually become like ineffective after time? Isn't that actually the case that will like eventually you recover some ability to eat more food?
When I was doing the collecting clips for us for the Boogie episodes, there was a conversation Wings and Keem had about doing a mukbang thing, and they both said they can't because of their surgeries. And I was like, huh. I think even Keem said, like, hasn't that basically failed now? And then they were both like, well, it still prevents you from, like... I think the way it works is it's still smaller than it would have been at maximum, but that you can expand it back or something. I'd have to Google it, I don't know.
I mean, I guess
that's all horseshit anyway, because look at them.
Yeah, exactly. That was
but also,
what it means is they can't eat a very big thing. Like, they can't say they were eating 100% per meal. Now they eat 50 twice, you know, over the course of more time.
And also the little, like all the little Asian guys and gals who do that stuff, and it's big millions off of it. It's famous. They're all little skinny twigs. Oh, there's Asian people who do it.
Because it's just.
I think you're better off being skinnier with those things.
That's what I've heard. Like all the professional eaters.
I don't understand the appeal of the format, but I mean, I guess maybe that has something to do with it. Is seeing skinny people eat fat people food?
It's a fetish or something.
I don't know. I don't understand why it's a format that you watch people eat. I don't get it.
Rhaenys attacking Vhagar was dumb as drunk Aegon attacking her. Why not wait to fight another day with more dragons? So that's a full stop. The arguments are that she would have seen it as another time of missing a huge opportunity to essentially end the war, because she's got a bit of regret about what she did in Season 1, and that if anyone can take out Vhagar, it would be her. And that, I guess, like, there's definitely arguments to be made, but I think if you look at the scene as well, there's a little bit of Rhaenys and Meleys are both very fucking tired with all of it, and a sense of like, let's just do this. Let's just get it over with.
Let's go for it. And if we win, then great.
Great. If we don't, then that's that.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Also, why did Aemond let her go initially? Let her go. I mean, Aemond was recovering with Vhagar, right? I don't think he let her go. I'm trying to think of what that's referring to.
I'm not sure what that would be referring to either.
Cringe Season 8 vibes from that scene. Jesus, man. That's like one of the best scenes.
That was the best episode 4.
Okay. Good to see episode 4 got you to cover this season. I can't remember. I think we were covering it anyway, weren't we? I'm trying to remember.
I think we were going to cover it anyway.
Bye, Rex.
Bye.
Literally the next one's addressed to him, so I'll skip it for now. Okay. Farewell and adieu to you fair Fleamish massives. Farewell and adieu, you massives of Flea. Oh, there he is.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I guess my internet just died briefly.
And you're back. See,
I am back. Yeah, my internet
script.
just died briefly.
Now Rex is making weird sounds.
It annoys me. It annoys me a lot when it happens. The internet's just like, oh, for about a minute, take a break. You weren't using that, right? You weren't like doing anything with that internet of yours? He's like, nah, man, nah, nothing.
Bloody rude. Hi, Rex.
Hello.
I heard that you're an Eagle Scout. Congrats on the
I
high
am.
honor.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
As one myself, I'm curious what your project was. Mine was to refurbish a wooden bridge at a local park. Love you all.
That's nice. My project was to construct a brick walkway at a nearby. So we have like a plantation settlement recreation that's out in the country here, the Scott Plantation Settlement out in Scott, Arkansas. And out there, they have a bunch of old buildings and reconstructed stuff from, I think it's like the mid to late 1800s, something along those lines. And there was an old courthouse in town that was demolished to make the new one. And so we took all the bricks from the old town courthouse and we used those bricks to make a walkway in front of the main house at this plantation settlement. And so we it was dug out for us. Someone had to use like an excavator to actually dig out the pathway for us. And then we spent the day putting the sand down, packing it in, putting in all the bricks, resizing them. And that's what our project was. And it's still there to this day. It was neat. Not too long ago, I got to go out there and take a look at it years after the fact. And it was holding up really well. And it's cool to kind of see that sort of thing still.
Yeah.
Still there. It was really kind of cool. But people said it was a really nice addition, and I'm glad it's holding up.
The people who make House of the Dragon need to stop talking about it. Yes, I kind of feel that way about almost everything. No more people talking about their
that
things.
way though. Shouldn't be like that. If you're making something that's good, when you say things about what your decisions, it should be like, yay, no, stop.
I was watching
Shut up.
a little behind-the-scenes featurette for Blackadder, and even in like the 80s, Rowan Atkinson's talking about how, when it comes to a production like this, and really any production, you have actors that come and go who are very able to portray a lot of the most complicated of characters, and you have the people who can design everything about the way the show looks and how it's edited. But really, the unsung heroes are the writers, and my god, is it hard to find good writers. It's like, oh my god.
Man, thank you.
Oh,
thank
so
you.
true.
Shout out to writers.
Yeah.
I learned that Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 4 spoils Hot D last night. Yes, it talks about certain people and what their future fates are. Something that I think I already know
right?
from osmosis of hanging out with Gary for too much. Like, I'm pretty sure I know the fate of a particularly important character. But that's okay, because I'm in it for the journey.
Are they in the same... I think we probably had this discussion. I think I've asked it before, but is it confirmed that House of the Dragon and the Game of Thrones shows are the same continuity?
The Game of Thrones spoiler, quote unquote, is directly referencing what happens in the book of like what takes place in the content. I doubt that this event will take place, almost guaranteed. Whether or not it shares continuity with Game of Thrones directly, which I think we're still supposed to believe it does. There's just a couple of little things that makes people wonder, like, oh, are they changing stuff? Yeah, well, maybe. But I think it is.
Okay.
Fun detail in Super Mario Party is that Monty Mole looks visibly distressed when playing as him in the Whack-A-Mole minigame. That's fun. Your coverage of Acolyte has to be the only good thing to come out of it. Hot D Season 2 is the first season of TV I'm watching weekly, and it's an honor.
The first season of TV you're watching weekly? Really?
Wow, welcome.
Like every life.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's
we're
legitimately
veterans
strange.
of watching shows weekly. That's actually way more common than the binging thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Biden
could reclaim approval by performing a perfect backflip. All right,
that's true.
Do it.
Do you think I'm old? Watch this.
Whoa.
And everyone's like, "Oh, go Biden, go Biden, go!"
That would be pretty funny.
That would be incredible. That would be incredible. That would be unbelievable.
It would, yes, it would, but
It would be
it'd be cool if it did. Be like,
unbelievable.
wow, look at that, cool.
Waiting for season 1 to finish before I watch. I assume they're in season 2, so I'm skipping this EFAP. But you dumbos shouldn't wait to play DDLC since the whole thing is already out. Whoa!
True, it is all out. All of it is out.
Recently watched a ranking of Smiling Friends episodes and rewatched it. Alan Adventure and Enchanted Forest are tied for my favorites. Thoughts? Those are excellent
I really like
choices.
the Alan Adventure, yeah, and the Enchanted Forest.
You were right there, man. That's probably my most commonly cited, just casually referenced.
I think
Friends.
Get Out of My Head.
That probably is yours, yeah.
My number one.
Out of my head.
I just love the casual fury that Charlie has for the fact that they were almost done with their little job, even though he's been kidnapped and is like naked or whatever.
Very
like
relatable, the idea
Yeah.
of just, God damn it. I mean, you know, do I say it? I mean, we were right there. It's very, very relatable.
Is a All Quiet on the Western Fleam EFAP a possibility? The original, not the Netflix series. I never want to say anything's really impossible, but it seems lower on the list than a lot of other things we're planning on doing.
I think,
Yes.
yeah, in the if we're gonna spend time watching something, I think that it would probably be something else.
Our
But,
backlog is
I
enormous.
agree with Mahler that it's not off the cards. You never know,
Mhm.
but don't bet on it. If you're a gambler, don't gamble that we will cover it. Do not put large sums of money on that being something we do.
Yeah. Hey Rags, would you ever get an FFL?
No, I would just I have some nearby that I use. I wouldn't get one myself.
Oh,
I've
there
got a I know someone who's getting it, but he's a big hunter. Big big gun hunter guy. But not myself. No, not myself.
You mentioned liking Serenity. Did that refer to the 2019 film starring Matthew McConaughey? No. The 2005 Joss Whedon film? Yes. Or the first episode of Firefly? No, but I do love that too. Yeah, definitely talking about the 2005 science fiction epic movie. It's fucking awesome, dude. The Matthew McConaughey Serenity, I'm pretty sure that's a super embarrassing movie, but I haven't seen it. I think I saw someone's review of it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't think I've heard of this before.
Lots of random, crazy things get made, and sometimes you hear about them in passing, you know?
Fair.
Garbo the Spy should be enough to remove the negative connotations of the slang term Garbo. Yeah. We need more people named things to fix up slang terms that are negative. That'll be a goal for 2025. I think the slowdown at the start was needed, gives us a chance to feel the build-up and enjoy the payoffs more. Sure, I think though the most people take away now from Season 2 of House of the Dragon is that it ended too fast. That's like the broad feeling.
People were generally complaining that it was kind of slow paced throughout. They were waiting for like a big thing to happen.
We were on the fucking
and then-
obviously you could see it happening. All those armies are prepared. It's like oh, it's like Season 3. And it's like no, that was supposed to be Season 2.
Yeah, can't do that.
Last time Hot D was being broken down, I was enjoying DS1 Blighttown, but still enjoying it. Now I'll be suffering in Elden Ring's DLC. Oh well. Hey, have fun. Maybe.
Who lives in a place called Blighttown? I would imagine that if you're like a real estate agent who lives there, you got a really tough job
could be a
selling
clever
people
ploy.
houses in Blighttown.
Maybe the houses
like
in the environment
Iceland.
are amazing, and it's like, oh,
like-
you wouldn't want to be
yeah.
here. No, oh no, Blighttown. Ooh, Blight.
Yeah, like Iceland. We need to call it something unappealing so people don't want to come here and take it from us. Let's call it Iceland.
And then you go there, and it's really nice and not even
You're
icy,
like,
and you're like, oh my
hey,
god.
this is great. This is actually really nice. This is really nice.
Molly, you say Boogie's faking cancer, but how can you say he said that when he never did? He never did. He never did. He never did.
I find it
man.
funny that he thinks that like he can expect anybody to believe him on anything ever when he was like so brazen that like no, I didn't lie about anything, and then actually admits basically to everything, and then still tries to walk it back even after he's owned it essentially.
I think he just knows. You do get to a certain point where you reach sort of critical mass on a lie, where you just go for it. I'm lying about the cancer thing, so
Yeah.
just fuck it. I'm already there. Just keep going. The hole, it's a bottomless hole. It doesn't matter if I dig or not. It's like infinite. You're already there.
I love when Theo is here. He says the hard truths others won't. Go ahead, chat. Get all your gays out.
Bring out your
Wolf
gays.
Semi recently brought out the highlight for when we first met Theo, and loads of people in chat are like, "Oh my
Theo,
god!"
who
I
is
had
on
no...
EFAP.
Like, imagine the
Theo,
amount
who
of
is on EFAP.
fans that have joined since after that, so they never would have known it was as simple as just he's in the chat. Let's bring him in, and that was it. I have no proof for this, but I feel like the person or persons who made Laris a foot guy and wrote the Kristen and Rhaenys episode 9 decisions wasn't here for season 2. Those three things seem so odd with season 2, if that makes sense. Laris's foot thing came out of almost nowhere, and never came back in season 2, right?
It's part of the season. No, it didn't, as far as I know. That was part of season. That was episode 9, right? That was the weird episode, wasn't it?
Oh, is that is in the weird episode? That would be funny.
That's that's the Flumpy. I think that's episode 9 of the first season. The bad episode. The one markedly, obviously bad episode of that show just happened to have the weird Laris foot thing. Interesting. What did they mean by this?
Of all the TV
Allison was a
franchises
character.
Be successfully resurrected, I'm very happy it was Thrones. Take note, Disney. It's kind of a different show, you know. But I get what you're saying, sort of.
So that take notes, Disney. I don't know. Disney has demonstrated, at least with their streaming, like that they don't know how to make television shows.
They have no idea. There's no broad quality control.
Idea what they're doing.
Is there a single good like Disney Plus show? Is there like even a single Disney Plus show that's actually like good? Because nothing comes to mind. Seriously, nothing comes to mind right now.
I'd have to check all of their originals.
Except for Andor. Because I always, for some reason,
don't even think of it as Disney.
Yeah, it's not. That's good. It can't be Disney. That's a high quality TV show.
Yeah, there's Andor, but there's not a single good Marvel one. There's not a single good Star Wars one. Except for Andor, obviously.
It's kind of remarkable, though. Like, Mandalorian 1, 2, 3, What If, Loki, Ahsoka, Agatha, Moon Knight, Obi-Wan, WandaVision, Echo, Hawkeye, Bad Batch, which was not very good either. Book of Boba Fett, Secret Invasion, Acolyte. It's just like, wow. Oh, I think X-Men 97 is considered pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
hear good things about it.
So what is that 2?
Well, we'll have to see about Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, where that ends
up. Oh god, She-Hulk. Ugh.
Yeah,
Welcome into Soldier.
How that existed and cost $250 million. No, 200. No, that was Secret Invasion. Was $250 million.
Yeah,
She-Hulk was a paltry $225 million.
Absolutely hideous batting average right now.
Compared to HBO, which is like pretty reliable by comparison.
Here's my am.
What was the Penguin? What was the Penguin? Was
that's
that
HBO?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
It's just HBO. Like they know how to make television shows. They've been making good television shows for like 30 years. So
yeah,
I suppose it shouldn't even be a surprise that that's the case. But I suppose it is fascinating that just gulf in terms of their ability to just like succeed in a medium. It's almost inexplicable in a sense. It's like how can the major studio like Disney be so like consistently awful at producing television shows? I don't get it.
Allison, maybe we couldn't have had peace were it not for those monsters you sent into my home. Boogie, I never did. He would be interesting in that universe, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah,
I don't think he's some very far.
He'd be like some useful idiot that was being puppeteered by somebody else.
I don't know.
Like, oh yeah, Boogie may sit the throne, but like really, he's I
feel like he'd betray somebody at like the earliest convenience.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like he'd be so unreliable in that world.
What was the conclusion? He's a shitty version of Penguin. He's like,
he is a bad version of Penguin. Yeah.
Well, Boogie doesn't want to ever do any work ever, but he can live a luxurious life. So as long as someone who's like telling him what to do is like, just do these things, and you could live comfortably and be fat and everything, and we'll
I
have
suppose in
lube
a
you for the
sense that's
doorways and
what
stuff.
Lolcow is, right? As a
Mhm.
format, is just just show up every week and make a fool of yourself, and then I'll pay for you, you to like, exist basically.
Aemond making Vagar disengage against melee, slashing his stomach, but not against Arax. Taking a pot shot shows he's gotten better at controlling her. I'd have to remember how the fight goes. Do they not spiral at that point and crash? And
I
I think
thought
at
they
that point they're
did,
both just
didn't
trying to
they? Yeah,
recover rather than run away or anything.
yeah.
Obviously, yeah. But, it's probably still true. Yeah, it's been a while since then, right? A whole week. So I think the
I mean,
timeline
I
gets
was
confusing.
about to say it's not actually it's some amount of time, but it's
Mhm.
not a dramatic amount of time between the ending of season 1 and episode 4. A few weeks.
A shilling for Hot D. Well, thank
Aha!
you. That isn't the Sept of
Thanks.
Baelor, because Baelor the Blessed isn't born for another 2 generations. Yeah, my lore knowledge is very weak on Westeros and stuff.
Mine will be even weaker, so...
I do my
Mine will
best.
be even weaker.
Personally, just hearing the sounds of children having heads carved off with a kitchen knife was scarier than seeing it because its imagination is a bitch. That really wasn't the problem for me at all, seeing the head get cut off or anything.
It was the events surrounding that happening, which were a little distracting.
Yeah, it's just needs another redraft, that whole sequence.
Yeah, let's from what I've heard, just do what the book did.
Stop arguing about how Smilo is wrong about the Jedi in OG Star Wars lore. Children were never frontline knights. Dave Baloney changed that with Ahsoka, and RLM makes me go mental at Chris Sheehan arrest.
One of our general criticisms about certainly one of my criticisms about the use of Jedi period in the Clone Wars and how they were used. But
that
like,
episode
yeah,
of Ahsoka, right, where it flashes back to how old she was in the actual war, and I remember some people saying it hits weirder because it's not animated. When I feel like we would have brought this up if we were doing coverage of it. That it's like she's way too fucking young to be in a war.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is a little bit different when it's not animated. Maybe but like, I don't know. It's the reality is it's difficult.
less
Well, difficult to
distracting.
justify feels like it's kind of giving it a little bit more like it's absurd. It really is. It's like ridiculous that they would even be brought there. My assumption would be that the only things that they'd be bringing Padawans for, if they're going on excursions, which I'm sure they would be places where there is no expectation of combat at all. Like,
if you have a Jedi,
diplomatic or
Jedi will be used
like
for diplomacy or for like special forces shit. You're not going to have them standing at the middle of a massive army in this open field with 1,000 blaster bolts being shot at them. Like, why are you throwing away your Jedi like that?
It speaks to the immaturity of like how Star Wars is often handled. But I mean, wouldn't Jedi like go for rescue, like for recovery after natural disasters and stuff? Like, doesn't that
It'd also just
seem
be
like
amazing at infiltration, I'd imagine.
Well, yeah, you can mind control people.
Yeah.
You can use telekinesis.
Super
and
jumping.
when you're in small, confined engagement spaces, you're just like unstoppable.
Super duper fast. Going,
well,
you would never.
You
can break someone's neck like at a distance, right? And fuck things up and press buttons and stuff.
I mean, as cool as the opening of Revenge of the Sith is, you would never ever put a Jedi in a starfighter in a bullshit battle like that and have them flying around.
They would have to be.
There's no way that would happen.
They'd have to be ridiculously good at it, which they do argue that Anakin is, but they never. I don't think they ever really showed us that.
No.
Even
That's your one rocket, one random bullet. Yep. There's too much random shit happening in that battle. One person locks onto you.
Well, remember,
someone shoots you, debris comes at you.
His solution for the buzz droids was he starts shooting Kenobi's ship, which damages it, Like, that's what you want to do, is portray him as doing really clever things you wouldn't expect that have like 100% success, not like, oh, that was reckless and almost destroyed your friend. It's like, like, this is not quite. And spinning, that's a good trick, the meme. And him blowing up the donut ship was just complete luck.
Yeah, that was stupid. I mean, it's like Rag said, though. The reality is that when the battle is that big, there's so much that's beyond your control that you can't account for, that even if you're the most skilled pilot in the world, you could just get fucked over by some debris that you couldn't have seen coming.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well,
it's just
my
way
mind
too
goes
much
to
stuff going on.
Mace Windu standing in front of like a faction of clones against an enormous army of droids and just sprinting toward them. It's like, really? Mace Windu's that's what he's doing. Okay. Is he not the leader of the Jedi Council? Like, that's just crazy.
I mean, yeah. It's, hey, look, right. I mean,
What a
he's
Chad.
just going for it. Yeah.
Not hearing what Damon says after "and what if we don't find him" is the same as Joker. We know he's inhuman, but we can still empathize with him. Well, it does make it interesting, and then we can sort of argue over whether or not he would have ordered this, that, or the other thing. But obviously it comes up later as well with Rainier and stuff. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and then you can speculate on like, well, what do you think of him? Like,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think what line do you think that he would or wouldn't cross? It just gives you room to think about it.
Wouldn't it be in Damon's best interest to assassinate as many Greens as possible? Imagine they managed to get to Otto as well. Damon would come. I would be curious about that. Like, basically just get in there and start collecting heads, boys. Like, because everyone's asleep, and this is our one chance to essentially, like they just said, it could actually win them the war. Especially if they get the right heads. Who's better, Mario Kart player, Fringy or Otto?
Well, I mean, I presume that Otto, if given the chance to play Mario Kart, could become pretty good, but I imagine he doesn't get much time to play it, and also that Nintendo doesn't exist in the world of House of the Dragon.
We can all agree, if it did
far
exist,
as we know, yeah.
Otto would be a huge fan, but I don't think they
I
haven't
think
shown
so.
it.
I think you
Oh.
would unwind. I imagine someone knocking on his door and stepping in, and he's just there on Rainbow Road, like fuck, as he falls off the edge.
He'd be honored that they call these things automobiles, and he'd be like,
Yes.
"Oh, that's
Yes,
how
that's
flattering
right.
that is for you to
Yeah.
to do that." Wow.
His favorite character in The Simpsons is Otto.
This council must recognize the importance of the blue shell I have acquired. Yes.
But we're winning. That's the point, you fool. You're in the lead.
Laris letting Aegon kill Blood helps him in the long run, though. It undermines Aegon and can create conflict with Otto even without the rat catchers. Yeah, because I remember it saying there's a lot of potential info and he could have been lying and all that sort of regular stuff about killing the one of the catchers. I think Aegon beats him to death. But I think we also said you can totally buy that being Aegon's reaction.
Yep, he is very much acting on emotion there, 100%. And it's within his character to not be like the person who's necessarily doing the smartest thing at all times,
no.
you know?
Are you traumatized by the Civil War? I know when my great-grandkid was murdered, I was in a dark place. Well, BetterHelp can help you. It was probably medieval BetterHelp, yeah.
I've been feeling kind of depressed, Doc. I prescribe bleach.
Oh. Laris
It
looks
is
like...
almost a fascinating thing seeing like it proper, that ad sort of. It's like, are you like aware? Do you know like what the history
This is
was?
definitely the Riddler meme. Does he know?
Does he know? Well, and now it's
Yeah,
about 3 different huge controversies. You know what I mean? It's just like, which does he know? Not know. Does he?
And then I think when we Googled it, we found out there were more controversies that weren't mainstream. It's just,
Sad.
guys,
Yeah.
if you are big enough to get at, I'm gonna level with y'all. I think that for those who don't know, like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff about YouTubers and the emails we get, you get a lot of offers from a lot of different people. When you even have like a mildly successful
if you're at the point
YouTube
where
channel,
BetterHelp are offering you can pick other stuff.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying this, but do a Raid Shadow Legends ad. Jesus
Before
Christ.
BetterHelp, yeah, I think BetterHelp's
They've just ruined people's lives. They haven't killed anyone. Jeez.
Laris looks like Victor from Arcane, Hair and Cane. A little bit, sure.
A little.
Guess.
Yeah, a little bit. I
see
see why. Yeah, I could see that.
He called the usurpation of Dragonstone a mummer's farce. He calls an assassination a prank. I love how Otto reduces actions he disagrees with. He's a beast, man. Like, of a character. He's super interesting. And, Oh man, like in that one scene, I think he sort of climbed a ladder for everybody in terms of like, this guy is really entertaining, and then he just disappeared. It's like, no,
God,
more
when
of
he's
that
talking
guy.
to Aegon. Fucking room.
It's so
Oh,
funny.
jeez.
I'm making khichdi, an Indian dish made with lentils, rice, tomatoes, onions, and spices for dinner and breakfast, or dinner or slash breakfast. Thought you should know. Well, thank you for letting us know, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it
Yum.
turned out great. Eric and Arix sustained identical wounds as well during their fight. Yeah, I think that was part of the whole, like, you know, it being very confusing to track who the hell's who, even for the audience. Yeah, and then you go, yo, Trump just got shot. No joke. They just tried to deplete President Trump for good. That did
That
happen during the
happened,
stream.
man.
I
That
thought
did happen.
it was just, you know, some meme or whatever that we checked. It was like, holy shit, that actually just happened. This is D-Day Cobra's talking about it, yeah, but it also just happened to be like right at the end of episode 2, so we were about wrapping up. Which, yeah, so this is my first episode I've watched from start to finish, and it was an honor. I assume they mean EFAP in general. We've got here a Yu-Gi-Oh card of the day, which is Humpty Grumpty. Look at this guy.
Oh, wow, look at him. Zombie
my
effect,
goodness.
3 stars, so no tributes necessary. Zombie effect. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. If this card is flip summoned, it gains 800 attack until the end of this turn. I feel like there might have been an era in Yu-Gi-Oh where this would be viable, because it used to be back in the olden days before the bullshit that Yu-Gi-Oh became. Having a monster that was like 4 stars and below who had decent attack, even if it was like 1600 attack, was actually viable in decks. So having a 3-star
I think this is something that happens in almost all card games that have this kind of thing, because what you're saying
power
reminds
creep.
me of Hearthstone. Like, they used to be cards like this. They're a bit more blank, but they just have solid enough stats that they're useful in certain combinations, or even just on their own, they're kind of a decent hitter, but yeah, the more the game goes on, the more these get forgotten.
From what I've heard, from what I've heard and seen, the power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see how at one point this could be a decent card, because you would potentially have a non-tribute summon monster that has, what is it, 1400, and how much does it add? 800. So you have a 2200 attack monster that would not require a tribute, and granted, you'd have to put it face down. Your opponent would have to not attack it, but then you would flip it back up, get an attack out of it. And then, granted, when you flipped it back down, the opponent would know what it is and know to attack it. It's got 0 defense. It's going to die unless you can stop that attack. But there is a purpose to this. You could protect it. You could get some mileage out of it. It's not terrible. It's kind of a shame, though, how just so many cards, especially old cards, are just not... They're just not viable anymore.
I just like that he's called Humpty Grumpty.
I like his design.
Yeah.
He's like a big egg, and he's grumpy, and, you know...
Those wings are just not enough, but that's okay.
I'm telling you,
They're
man.
magical.
You take one look at him. That dude humps. And
Quite the
grumps.
Humpty. And the extinct animal of the day, the Skinnerhuse, or Skinnerhuse, maybe?
Oh, look at him. That's cool. He looks like a
Look at that fella.
Pokemon.
Kinda, yeah.
He looks like a little, like a boar. He looks like some sort of a porcine.
He looks like a old pig.
I like him. I like the little they're not really whiskers. They're kind of what would you call
Sure,
this?
It's
Like
an
describe that,
eye beard.
honestly.
eye beard.
Yeah.
Yes, I love his little eye beards. They're great. I bet they keep him warm. I also imagine they could be quite bright, though. If it's sunny and the sun hits those, it might get a bit bright. But maybe he's used to that, and his eyes are used to that. I like him. That's cool. It looks like a little Pokemon, and then his next evolution has got big old tusks or something.
He is very cool. And with that, that's the messages sent in for episode 293. Thank you guys so much, and we will catch you on the next one, wherever it is. But for now,
Yeah, see you later,
I
everybody.
must
Yeah,
take
we'll
off
see you
my
later, everyone.
snowman costume and say goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Farewell. Adieu.